Hi jelly babies, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I hope you've had a good holidays, and today what I wanted to do was talk through a couple of the things that I got for Christmas. Just a few art supplies, nothing crazy, but I wanted to talk about what I'm going to use them for, try them out here with you guys, and kind of give a little mini review of what I think about them. But let's get into it. Now, the first thing I got were these lovely Winsor & Newton soft pastels. And Winsor & Newton is probably one of my favourite art brands, but it's a little more pricey, so it's not often something that I'll buy for myself. And I do kind of wait for Christmas or my birthday to subtly hint to my family and friends that if they're going to get me any sort of art supply, it will be them. And I just want to show you, because look how many colours there are. There's so many, and I'm so excited to use these. I think they're so beautiful. I've never worked with soft pastels before, so I'm really intrigued to see how it turns out and what I can end up making with them. Obviously, if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I've been trying to work with oil pastels over the past year and a half, 2 years, and I feel like I've gotten to a good place with them. So I just want to transition into a slightly different medium, see what we can do, see if it fits my art style and what the kind of vibe is with them. And then secondly, I got these graphic liners from my lovely partner. Love you very much, thank you. Behind the camera, if you watched a couple videos ago, you saw that I was talking about us working on a comic book together and how I want to progress my skills in creating the illustrations for that comic. And I think a key to that is some good fine line pens. Although I feel like I've really mastered using pencil now to draw characters and shadow and highlight and everything like that, I really do think adding these final touches with the black liner will just make it pop and make it feel like a comic book so much more. So we're just going to do a little practice with them today, see how I feel about them, see if I can do it. Obviously it will get better over time, but I'm so excited to develop new skills with these new tools. Okay, so we are going to move on to the soft pastels first. Here is a little sketch that I did earlier on an A4 bit of canvas. I've just drawn a very, very simple landscape because I know it's something that I can use really strong lines for. Push that pastel in and just go for it. Oh, let's start. I'm a bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous. Okay. Here are the pastels. Da, 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 da. There's a part of me that wants to eat them, but I won't. So I will remove that thought from my mind. We're going to get halfway through the video and they won't be there. Okay, so we're going to start off with the bottom hill. I'm going to choose this, ooh, this really nice, deep, dark burgundy. I think that's so pretty. Ooh, I'm already feeling that there's a lot more tension between this and the paper than there would be with an oil pastel. It's not so slick. It feels a little bit more like a hard crayon, is probably the best way I would describe it. Okay. And then for the hill, we can start off with this red down here. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So once you push a bit harder, I feel, and then move it in this direction, maybe against or along with the grain of the canvas. Oh, I've already smudged it. Okay, they smudge easily. That is something I will say already. They smudge very easily. So maybe that is part of the allure of working with soft pastels. There's also a lot of residue that comes off these. Now I know that's something that's very common with oil pastels, but this is a much dustier residue. Normally when I'm doing a big oil pastel piece, I will scoop up all the little flakes that have gone on the floor and I'll like stick them on my finger and then push them into the piece that I'm using. And I don't feel like I'm going to get the same leverage with these. I feel like these soft pastels are a little less forgiving, actually. Big blow. Yeah. It's also a lot harder to get as much coverage as possible than I would with oil pastels. We'll go for this tangerine. Oh, that's nice. So I can already tell that the colours blend and transition into each other nicely as well, which is something that I'm always looking for. Another big blow. And then I think what I'm going to do is just take my finger here and just smush this little layer together. So I think blending is the key with these, to really get them into the crevices of the canvas. But it does mean that I'm walking around with fingers like this, and I will definitely end up touching this and we'll have a red finger somewhere. Yeah, see, look, I've already done it. Keep working this orange up, and then at the top we'll do a nice warm yellow. Right, I'm going to take a different finger and just blend this around a little bit more. I really like the effect of that, actually. I really, really like that. It's not as chunky as an oil pastel, which is something that I do really enjoy about using them, is that texture that you get on the canvas, and you can really see the layers and the build-up of it. And although this is slightly different, I like this smooth, flat finish by contrast. I feel like maybe doing... Look at me and my fingerprint! Not touching. Carry on with this yellow. Put it down. And I also like that when you do rub it onto the darker colours, you don't get any transfer on the actual pastel itself, which is nice because that's quite a common issue that I find when using oil pastels. I have to constantly wipe them off on the cloth to make sure that I don't get that colour transfer. So there's nothing worse than when you're going back in with a colour that you just used and it's got like a big splodge of green on it, and now you've got a colour in a place where you didn't want it. Let's just go in here. I think that looks really nice. I'm really happy with that. I think that looks great. Next hill, let's go with something a bit darker. That is just a bit of me. I love that so much. Big harsh line here. And I can imagine that I will also enjoy these for faces as well, because I can get a really nice soft blend with them. But I wanted to do a landscape so that I could do really big, broad strokes and just see. I feel like there's always less pressure with a landscape to see how it's going to turn out. Yeah, let's cover up those red fingerprints. Goodbye to you. You're no longer there. Hopefully. Right, let's grab a different finger and just blend this out a little bit. Don't want to go into the red, but I do want to fill the gaps. These fingers off. I'm very dirty. Is it gross if I lick the finger and then wipe it?
We'll cut that out.
No, we won't. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with this lighter green. This, what's this one called? I feel like it's a sage. Oh, it's called Emerald. This is really nice. I love this green. Oh, yes. And then let's blend. And if there is anyone watching who is very familiar with soft pastels and you can see that I'm doing something not quite right, or you have a technique that could improve me using these, please put a comment, because I would love to know. Like anything to make the artistic process a little bit smoother and easier for myself. Oh, I love this colour. This might be my favourite colour. It's a turquoise green. I love. And then let's just blend and blend and blend until we can blend no more. Right. I love that. I do try and keep them in colour order as much as possible when I get them, but a few months in, they're all completely disorganised, and what was the point? Right, I am now going to go in with this medium blue. This is really nice. More blending. And then I'm trying to think of what a nice mid-tone would be. I feel like if we mix in a little bit of the white, it could work. This is always to be expected though, if you're just using like the raw colours that are in the palette, it's not always going to go how you want it to. And then I think let's go in with this really nice pale blue, almost like a, I mean, what would you call that, like a periwinkle?
Palmer violet.
Kind of blue. Yeah, it is a bit like Palmer violet actually. Yes. Now that's what I was talking about having transfer of the previous colour on this one. So it turns out these do also do that, yeah. I just did what I do with the oil pastel, I just wipe it off and it will come off. I'm gonna have to hoover the floor after this. I think that looks really nice. Go in again. Just make sure that's really solid and it stands on its own. Yes. Look at my fingers. They are a mess. They are a mess. And then I'm thinking for the last one, what's a colour palette that we haven't really explored yet? I will say this, I mean, this is probably just a very Andy complaint to make, but I wish that the shades of pink was a bit more diverse. I wish there were more. I feel like maybe what we could do is go in with a purple and then a maroon and then a pink to blend. I feel like that's the way that we're going to have to go with this, because the pinks are very limited, unfortunately. And if you haven't guessed already, pink is my favourite colour. I'm going to go in with this nice maroon. Hopefully we can get a good blend between these two. I'm feeling hopeful. Nice. And I'm hoping this pink should brighten it up so that it feels a little bit more cohesive with the rest of the piece. What I'll do is oopsie daisy, I'll bring it down a little bit more, connect it with the maroon. Yes! I love that, it looks really good. Bring this out a little bit more, it's not so harsh. Nice! I'm happy with that. I feel like once it's finished, if I feel like we need a little more of a pop of highlight here, I'll add some of the cream or the white, and we'll see how we feel about it. And what I'm going to do now is move on to the mountains, and I'm going to grab this nice dark blue here. I'm just going to go up and along the mountain, and we're going to carve out the snow, and we're not going to introduce any pastels there. We're going to try our best to avoid those. And we're going to grab a brighter blue that we used down here already. I'm going to just shimmy that in here. Oh yeah, like that. And then we're going to take our blue finger, just smush these together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab quite a bright yellow. I'm going to work it in on this side. Have I got a yellow finger? Yes, I do. Quite a soft blend here. Highlight. Let's work a little bit more over here. And then we will take that dark blue again and just go back at this side, so it really solidifies the shape. Our little snow-capped mountain. And I feel like the blend on this isn't as good as I would have hoped for, but that's okay. We're learning, we're practicing, we're trying. We'll see. Just like this on here. Again, avoiding that snow. I feel like all my landscape pieces are such a mishmash of seasons. I don't think anyone could ever tell what time of year it's supposed to be. Just have some snow-capped mountains and hills and a palm tree and call that a landscape. Not my favourite. Not my favourite. Can do is smush the yellow in to really accentuate that highlight. Okay, I'm a bit happy with that. Yeah, not perfect, but close enough. And now I'm going to do big old sun. Let's get a nice... Oh, I can feel I've already snapped it inside. I hate when that happens. And then move in with slightly warmer yellow. And a bright yellow, and I do want to leave a little spot of white in here if we can. And then, do I have a yellow finger? No. Alright, pinky it is. Nice. I think that looks really good. For the sky, this is where I wish we had more pinks coming into play, because I would love to have a nice like blue-pink gradient and like a baby pink. Unfortunately, we don't have one of those. So I think my plan is going to be this little soft periwinkle again, and then maybe we go in with some slightly different shades of blue, like stripes across, and we'll blend those out. So for the meantime, I'm just going to cover the whole sky with this. Yeah, I think that's actually a great colour for it. Maybe I spoke too soon. Okay, and then let's just start to blend this in. I like that little faint shadow there from the sun with the orange where it's kind of spilled out. And then maybe this nice little soft cream to just kind of slice up. I'm not going to blend those, just want those to kind of stay there, like little clouds. I think that looks great. I do think I'm going to add just a little pop of highlight on here. I like that a little better. Yes! I love that! I actually really love this. I think this looks really good. Just shimmy it along here as well. Quite like that actually, the way that is. I feel like we're done. I'm just gonna peel these little bits of tape off so that I can finish the corners, because otherwise we're just gonna have some little blank spots. And that is the finished piece. I'm so happy with that. I really enjoyed working with these. Quite different from what I'm used to, but I think over time I can definitely perfect it, and especially with the yellow and the blue and things like that, I can really perfect that gradient, because obviously I've kind of been working in the colour families for the hills and that was a lot easier, but to get that high contrast I'm going to need to work on that a little bit more. Yeah, I really like that. It's just to sign it and then we're done, I think. Alright, I am back with clean hands and a drawing that I did the other day, and now we're going to give these fine line pencils a go. I am quite nervous. I did have a little practice with them on Christmas Day. I found them quite tricky, so let's see how we go. This looks quite nice. Tip on that is quite fine but quite strong, and I'm hoping that will help with our outlining. So I'm literally just going to go around, oh yeah, I already love that, with this pen, and I'll just go around all of the shapes, creating a really nice bold shape with everything. I love the feel of these already. I did have some fine tip pens a good few years ago, and not to drag the works because I do normally really like the stuff of the works. I got some of the works and they dried out within like a month, and I felt quite conned to be honest, because they weren't exactly like completely inexpensive, and I had hoped they would last a little bit longer than just a month. Let's go around here. Oh wow, this feels so nice, it's so smooth. And then let's draw in the little lines. And then we're just going to go around here. And we're going to do a little flick. Little flick. Yes, I really love that. And then we've got our little ponytail coming down and around. Lovely. I love that. I'll start by going around the face. Oh. See, the only issue with these is how completely unforgiving they are. Like, if you do a stroke out of place like I've just done, yeah, that's it. Like, there's no way of really correcting that. And I think that's the thing that I'm going to find quite tough with these. Go in, add the little cheekbones. And then I'll do the mouth. Yeah, this one little bit is going to annoy me now for the rest of this video. I'm going to sit here regretting it. Right, let's go around. Now, if you have noticed and you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I've been working really hard drawing noses and getting them to look a little bit more anatomically correct. And just bring that line up, go around. I really like that. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. Scary. Eyeliner. Yeah. Oh, look at those lashes! They look great. I love that. And then go around the eye. And let's do these bottoms. And then I'm just going to do these little eyebrow hairs here. Honestly, how many times do you think I screech like that in every single video? From like pure joy and excitement that I've done something that I like. Fill that in. How uneven are these winged liners? Pretty uneven. That's fine. Distant cousins, not twins. And then what I'm going to do is go in with this eyebrow. Doing eyebrow strokes is actually probably one of my favourite parts of drawing, just because I feel like there's so much emotion behind someone's eyebrows, and I love to convey that even if the rest of the face is still like relatively still. Go across these ears. Now I've got to try and figure out where I drew last time for the ear to finish. Yes, I love that. Really nice. Okay, and then I'm going to go in these stars. Keeping that blurred edge on the side. No transfer. As a lefty, it is something that I'm constantly worrying about, that like I could possibly smudge it or transfer it, so I'm glad that even though my hand's just pressed on that, it's already dry and it hasn't gone anywhere. So that is a good sign. Okay, and this is where the scary comes in. I think we will go with 6. Which one's this one? That's just got a nice chunky round little nib there. So hopefully we'll be able to get some of the detail pieces really nicely. What I'm going to start doing is just going around the circles of the eyes. And I'm going to add a little bit of texture here on the lip. I think on the eye actually over here, I'm going to just add a little bit of black. Obviously I don't want to completely get rid of the purple that's underneath, but I just want to add a bit of extra depth with the shadow. And then I think, oh look, I can see a little bit that I've missed. Let's fill that in. I think a nice thing to do would just be to go in on the hair. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little nose ring just here, that detail. Look at that, that's so fine. I love that. I love that so much. And we'll add a couple of little earrings down here. And then actually what I am thinking is if we go back in with the pen that I just used and just do a little bit of darker shadow underneath the chin, just to settle that a little bit more and distract from the mistake I made earlier. Nice. And then I think if we do the same underneath the hair, I feel like that's kind of all I wanted to do shadow wise. I don't want to go too heavy because I don't want to lose all of the colours. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in on the background where the details are, just fill those in. Okay, I'm really happy with that. I'm actually really surprised at how well that's gone and how much easier it was once I had the proper highlights and shadows using the pencil first and then going over it with the fine tips. I actually think I'm done. I'm just going to peel off the tape again. Oh, taking a little bit of the tape for this. Go easy on this one. If anyone has any tricks on when peeling off masking tape, how to make sure that the ends of the paper don't rip or come up with the tape, that would be great. I'd love to know, because the amount of times I've finished a piece and the corner has just been destroyed by a piece of tape that was so stubborn it won't come off. And anyone who says to me, just be more gentle, you clearly don't know me. I'm impatient and I'm here to use brute force. Okay, and then I'm just going to sign it down here. And then we can also sign this one that I did earlier. No, oh, well, the fine tips don't like soft pastels, let me tell you. So here are my two finished pieces using my Christmas presents. I'm really, really happy with both of them. I think they're both beautiful materials that I cannot wait to use more of and get into practice with and feel like I can create exactly what it is I want to with confidence. And I think that's all an artist can really ask for. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Just before I go, I wanted to do a little giveaway for these two lovely pieces that I've just finished today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick them up with my nails. So annoying. But here they are, these two lovely pieces. If you would like to win them, I'm going to make it very simple. All I want to know is if you just pop a little comment down telling me your absolute favourite art supply or tool or anything that you love to use when you're creating, and I will randomly pick a comment and you can have both of these, because I'm always happy to give art and share art and spread art, and I don't have any more room to keep storing all of this, so please someone take them. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it and making these lovely pieces, and I hope to see you soon.